Recording in progress.
All right, that's the sound we're looking for. Welcome, everybody. We get this meeting started. Our Catholic Regional District Planning Committee for December 10th already. I'd like to acknowledge we're holding this meeting on the traditional territory of the Tla'amin people. First order of business is approval of our large agenda. So moved. Good. Director Gisborne, Director McCormick, any discussion? All those in favor? That's carried unanimously. Thank you. Next, adoption of the minutes. Any errors, omissions? So moved. Seconder, Director McCormick, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried unanimously. All right, no delegations or inquiries, no unfinished business, all the way down to our only order of business, 8.1, the Coastal Douglas-Fir Conservation Partnership Statement of Cooperation. So moved. Director Gisborne, Director McCormick, any discussion? Director Southcott.
Thank you, Chair. I represent the Nosman Land Conservancy Society. We have a member who has worked on contract occasionally for CDFCP, and organization is also associated with CDFCP. I really do appreciate the work they do. Their values are way up there on my priority list, and I really appreciate the RD in its commitment to supporting this and being aligned.
I have one, Director.
Oh, you go first.
Well, it's just for staff. I mean, maybe along the lines, thanks, Director Southcott. Just this has been going on for a little while. This is a recommitment. Just confirm some of my assumptions here to what we've been working on already. Maybe you could just touch on any progress towards some of the mandate goals that they have. I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of discussion in media and in communities about Douglas-Fir and conservation of old growth and like things that are related to this. And so I did a quick Google, and I see that there's an established relationship with the BC government. So maybe you could just flesh that out again for me and others that might be listening.
Thank you. Yeah, through the chair. Well, this commitment or this signing on to the partnership with the Coastal Douglas-Fir Conservation, it is something that the regional district has been a signatory to since 2017. And the appendix to the report includes a summary of policies from each of the CAFET Regional District official community plans and how they align with and support protecting sensitive ecosystems, including coastal Douglas-Fir. And most of the coastal Douglas-Fir ecosystem is on private land because it is just coastal properties, and that's where most of our development is. And but we encourage that people do that. And there has been progress. Like anytime the province or a nonprofit is doing research, we usually steer them to areas where we know where it's a sensitive coastal Douglas-Fir ecosystem, and they pick properties within those areas, and then we help liaise them with the property owners. And some of the donations include coastal Douglas-Fir, and some of the regional parks like Divers Rock is within this ecosystem, and the recent donation, an acquisition by the BC Parks Foundation, that's coastal Douglas-Fir ecosystem as well.
Okay, so I guess it's correct to say it's an ongoing advocacy from local government and the other stakeholders. And we'll just want to maintain that relationship. Okay.
Just a teeny addition. It's probably one of the most highly disturbed biogeoclimatic zones in British Columbia, and so highly worthy of the conservation efforts of that particular organization, and that's their purpose.
Any more questions, comments, Director Gisborne?
Yeah, I just want to point out on page 3, re-signing the statement of cooperation indicates the Catholic Regional District is aligned with the intent of the partnership to work together to protect coastal Douglas-Fir and Western coastal western hemlock forest and its associated ecosystems, biodiversity, and cultural values. Signing the statement does not obligate the regional district to regulate the development of private lands within the coastal Douglas-Fir ecosystem. So for anyone that may be watching, we're not doing tree cutting bylaws or things like that with this agreement. And I just also want to say that I think greater focus on the coastal Douglas-Fir ecosystem rather than necessarily like the individual tree itself, I think is like kind of the priority members of the public should kind of look at, because sometimes you start to run into issues with like potential root rot or other things like that. And, you know, sometimes you do have to take some of these trees down, but it's about the protection of the ecosystem. So that way new Douglas-Fir can come in and replace the existing ones, because, you know, it's a cycle. It's like a crop, but it's not an annual crop. So I love the Douglas-Fir I have on my farm, and I hope everyone else appreciates the ones that they have.
Great. Dr. McCormick.
Thank you. Yeah, I totally support being part of this partnership. I also have a forested property where it's Douglas-Fir, and we've got to do whatever we can to protect this land, because as our population grows and our grandchildren have children and everything starts to multiply and multiply, the pressure on green space is going to be huge. You know, if we don't protect things now, it's not going to be there in the future. So it's really important that we do things like this.
I completely agree. So without seeing any other hands, I think we've moved and seconded already. So put it to the vote. All in favor? Very unanimously, thanks. We have no new business. Do we have media or anybody else online? Sure.
Media here, Chair. How are you today?
Well, looks like we get to go home in a reasonable hour, Paul.
Indeed, so do I. So cheers. That's great. I heard that the regional district had been a member of the Coastal Douglas-Fir Conservation Partnership since 2017. Has that been continuous since that time? Because you're being asked to re-sign the statement of cooperation for some reason.
Yes, it's just a reconfirmation, and I'm getting confirmation from staff that yes, we've been a member since 2017.
I thank you very much for that, Chair, and I appreciate the comments from the directors. I can probably put together a little story from that. Thank you.
Thanks, and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, no proposed